Hello everybody, it's Makito. I hope everybody's having a good day and has had a good day so far. We have a big slate as always when it comes to the Saturday slates. When it comes to a big slate, I usually always say just because there's more games doesn't mean I'm going to have more picks, quality over quantity. I know really the last two videos haven't done too well. I'm on a bit of a slump, but hopefully I can redeem myself in this big slate. If you followed the channel for a while, you know if I go in a little bit of a slump, I can usually, hopefully cross my fingers, bounce back and have a great day. Hopefully this is the day. I'm doing some, I'm going to say a little different, but it's really not different. But as always, if I do have any added plays, they will be in the pinned comment either later tonight, but more than likely tomorrow when the games are out. About an hour before the game starts, when the lineups are confirmed, that's the time where I like to see who's playing where, someone who's playing that I didn't anticipate playing. Besides, most of the lines for most of the games aren't even out yet, so I could have plays later tonight too. As more lines are added, I will be keeping an eye on them. And also, I know some of you guys might be newer and don't know, but the player props are meant for fantasy apps, more specifically Prize Picks. You might be able to find these lines on different apps, but for the most part, the player props are for fantasy apps and the money line plays are for sportsbooks, because a lot of these plays, when it comes to the player prop wise, if you go and find them on sportsbooks, they're usually heavily juiced a lot of the time. So just want to put that out there in case you're on the sportsbook and you're wondering why they're juiced. They're meant for player prop apps. And then any pictures that you see on the screen is from the data app called Outlier. You can use my code in the description. You get a 7-day free trial. You can look at matchups when it comes to player props. You can look at matchups when it comes to games, teams versus teams, home, away, with or without players, all that stuff. Great matchups on all sports, not just soccer. So if you're interested in that, link for that is in the description. But other than that, I'll get straight into the plays. And the first player prop that I found that I like is Elliot Anderson, under 85.5 passes attempted at home for Nottingham Forest, going up against Sunderland. He's gone under in 3 of 5 games so far in the league and went under in the most recent game in the Europa League with like 40-something against Betis. Honestly, this line comes down to two things. One, him not being that type of player that's going to orchestrate play like that. And two, them underestimating Sunderland. He is a good passer, but he's not necessarily an orchestrator. He's not going to be the type that sits back, passes between defenders, then goes up. He started in 33 of 37 games last season. The picture that you see on the screen is from all 37 games, including the ones he came off the bench. But it's just to show you that he went under in 100% of games last season. He did play a bit of a different role sometimes. Sometimes instead of playing as a defensive midfielder, he played as an attacking midfielder. But even then, he did sometimes play more deep where he's playing now, and he still went under to show you that he's not that type of player to make those types of passes. Besides, Nottingham Forest in general are a team that does not play possession of the ball. And if you look at the Sunderland games, and when it comes to the amount of possession that they gave up, they did give West Ham 63%. They gave Burnley 42%, Brentford 46%, Palace 56, and they gave Villa 71, but they did have an early first half red card, so I don't blame them too much there. But Sunderland is not a team that's just going to give up possession to the other team. And again, Forest is a team that does not play possession of the ball. And unless Sunderland get an early red card or take an early lead, I don't see Forest dominating possession. And a line like this, I like the line. He has good history. Why not take the under? So I like it. Elliot Anderson to go under 85.5 passes. And the second play that I found that I like is Jordan Henderson to go under 0.5 shots at home for Brentford going up against Man U. We're taking a couple unders this season, and I like this one as well. He has never been known to be a shooter throughout his whole career. He started 4 times this season. He's gone under in 3 of 4 plays, 3 or 4 starts that he's had. So already a 75% hit rate so far. And the only game he went over, he got the shot due to a set piece. But even last season when he played for Ajax, he only averaged 0.58 shots per 90 in general. So he didn't even average a shot. And in the total, he took in total 12 shots. Only 4 of those came from regular play. 4 of them, he took free kicks. He's not the free kick taker for Brentford. And then the other 4 came from headers and corners. So first of all, when it comes to regular play, he's very likely to not get it from there. And Man U in general, although they have been shaky when it comes to their consistency and how they've been performing, they have still been doing good when it comes to minimizing total opponents when it comes to the shots that they take. If you look at the games that they've had so far in the Prem, they gave Arsenal 9 shots, Fulham 13, Burnley 6, City 13, and 5 to Chelsea. So they are good at not allowing opponents to take a lot of shots. They do make mistakes and they do concede, but they don't give opponents a lot of shots. They've allowed the 5th least corners to opponents so far after these first 5 games. So Henderson got a couple shots from corners last season. Brentford might not get that many opportunities to get those corners at all in the first place. Henderson is much more of a player that he's defensive. He sends through balls to his opponents. Man U's weaknesses come from through balls, so that's something that he can help in. Sending the passes, not shooting, but they're also weak on those counterattacks and players down the wing, which is not what Henderson plays. He's been subbed out before from the 74th minute mark and behind in 3 of the 4 games. He's older now. He doesn't have the energy to play the full games for the most part, so it shows he's been subbed out in 3 out of 4 games, and I just don't see him playing super high up the pitch. I see Man U still being able to minimize opponents when it comes to allowing shots, so I like this play. Jordan Henderson to under 0.5 shots. But before I get into my money line plays, I really appreciate if everybody took a second to like the video and comment as well. Again, like I said, I know the last 2 videos haven't done so well, but I will bounce back. We do sometimes have these slumps, and that's normal when it comes to sports betting. It's not always going to be great, but I do anticipate bouncing back. Again, we can do this here. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe, turn on notifications to notify when these videos are out. And I do also let y'all know in my free Discord, which is linked in the description as well, if you're interested in joining that. I don't hide any picks. It's not a premium. Or you can get all my picks for free on my YouTube channel. It's just for those that want to get notified as well. And it's a great community where people talk during games. People post their own plays. You can put your plays, get input on all sports, anything you can bet on. So if you're interested in that, link for that in the description. The only form of premium that I have is my YouTube membership, which is linked as well, or there should be a join button right next to the subscribe button for those that want to support the channel more, and you get the content out earlier. So if you're not a member, those that are already got the video and all these picks before everybody else. And again, it's a great way to support the channel. I have my link for Outlier, which I mentioned in the beginning of the video as well, so link for that as well. So I really want to thank anybody and everybody who supports me in any way, but I'll get straight into my money line plays. I have 2 money line plays for y'all. This first one I got for -134. The first one, first play in this slip is in the MLS, and that's Inter Miami to win or draw going up against Toronto FC. Miami's in great form. They've won 3 straight. Suarez returned from injury. He returned in the last game. He scored. Messi is in great form with 8 goal contributions in those 3 games that they've won. While Toronto, on the other hand, are on an 8-game winless run. They haven't won a single game in 8 straight, which is what I like as well. Just form-wise, Miami is in much better form. A lot of their offense is gone. Bernadeschi's gone. Insigne's gone. Brett Hilton's gone on loan. Kerr is injured, so most of their offense is not in this game anymore. They haven't scored 2+ goals in 11 straight games, and that's super dangerous. If they can't score, they can't keep up with Miami. Miami should be able to keep up, if not just straight up outscore them. Miami's been doing decent on defense. They have always been leaky, but their game comes from outscoring their opponents, and Toronto's been weak on that, so I don't see them getting a win here. Toronto also don't play possession. They average the 5th least possession, and that's what Miami plays. They're weak on through balls. That's what Miami plays. So just strength-wise, momentum-wise, since Messi's arrival, they have played each other 5 times, and Toronto has yet to win a single time. So just history-wise, momentum-wise, matchup-wise, I like this play. Inter Miami to win or draw going up against Toronto. And the second play is in Spain La Liga, and that's Mallorca to score at home going up against Alaves. They've scored in 4 of 6 games so far this season. Now playing Deportivo Alaves, who have conceded in 5 of 6 games. They've conceded in all but 1 game, and the only game in which they kept a clean sheet. It took a 3-save man-of-the-match performance from their keeper to stop the opposing team from scoring as well. And Alaves' defense dropped significantly when they play away last season. If you look at the stats last season, they only conceded 17 goals and 19 at home, so a little under a goal a game. And when they go away, they conceded 31 and 19. So they go from conceding under a goal to almost 2 when they play away. So already matchup-wise is great. They couldn't stop opponents from scoring last season. They conceded in 17 of 19 games when they played away from home last season. So matchup-wise is great for them. And Mallorca's offense was also better at home last season. They went from scoring 53% of games away up to 74% at home. As you can see on the screen, they did well when it comes to scoring at home. And they've played them twice last season. They failed to score in the away game, but they did score in the home game. So the stats back it up. Both teams are better home and away, and henceforth like that. They have an M4 Muriqi, who Mallorca have scored 5 goals this season. He has scored 4 of them. He had 8 8 of his 9 goal contributions that he had last season were at home as well. So they will get the opportunities. They just need to convert. It's a great matchup, great history too. So I like to play Mallorca to score going up against Alaves, and I have this slip for -134. I have one more slip. Both of these plays are in the German Bundesliga and the German League. I got this slip from -129. And the first play is Leverkusen to win or draw going up against St. Pauli. They have won or drawn 5 of 6 games so far. They've only lost 1. They have scored in every single game and should be able to at least keep up with St. Pauli. St. Pauli have had a relatively good start as well, but they have conceded in 3 of 4 games so far. And I just don't see them stopping this Leverkusen side, who just seems to be getting better as the season progresses. They're weaker in the air, and Leverkusen have good playmakers in that they can take advantage of down the wings, because St. Pauli is also weaker on the wings. They have good playmakers and Lucas Vasquez and Grimaldo as well. Leverkusen are good in set pieces, so they can take advantage of that weak aerial presence from St. Pauli as well. They play hit in both games last season as well, with 1 win and 1 draw. They scored in both. They just have a better quality team, so I can see them at least getting a point here. So I like Leverkusen to win or draw going up against St. Pauli. And the second play is Dortmund to win or draw going up against Mainz. They're in great goal scoring form, and I know I took them to score 2, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, last time they played. They only scored 1, but they held the opponents to 0 shots on target. That was against Wolfsburg, so they've been doing pretty good when it comes to the defensive end, which is where they seem to struggle a bit last season. They've been cleaning up themselves defensively. They're still doing good offensively, so I like their chances here as well. They have kept a clean sheet in 3 of 4 games so far, so I see Mainz really struggling on the offense here, and with the combination of their strong offense, their defense getting better, and Mainz inconsistency, I don't see Mainz winning this game. This play hit in 1 of 2 games last season. One of them they did lose, but they came after a 27-minute red card from Dortmund. So they were a man down very early on. Mainz capitalized on that, but I don't see them getting an early red card here as well. Mainz have allowed on average 15 shots to opponents, so they're allowing a lot of shots. Dortmund with the great offense can take advantage of that, and Dortmund should find a way to break through here. I see them at least keeping up with them. Same thing as Leverkusen. I see them at least getting a point here. So I got this split from -129. Leverkusen to win or draw, and Dortmund to win or draw. Thank you everybody for watching. I'll quickly go over last video's picks. Like I mentioned, it wasn't a great day. When it comes to the plays that I had, Gnabry was the only one that I guess it's okay. Over 2 shots. He pushed with 2, got subbed out. Hilali to get at least 3 tackles. He got 2. He had a yellow card in the first half, so that really kind of stopped him from getting those tackles. I had the added play with Rulli to get at least 3 saves. Strasbourg only got 1 shot on target, and that 1 was a save, so he didn't even get 1. And then the money line play, both teams to score. It was a 0-0 game. The 2 highest rated players from the games were both of the keepers from each side. So the keepers had great performances. Both teams had great chance to score. They just couldn't capitalize. So it wasn't a great day. Obviously, I did like the reads, hence why I made the video. So I'm only going to post the plays that I like. But it was just a disappointing day. The last 2 days have been doing well. I am going on a bit of a slump, but hopefully I can recover. Again, usually when I have a bit of a slump, I can usually recover. And hopefully it could be in this big slate on Saturday and have a great day. When it comes to the added plays I mentioned, a lot of the plays aren't out yet, so I'll keep an eye out for those plays. Post if I see anything that I like. If not, I'll look at the lines before the games, try to have them there as well. I'll do also let y'all know when I have the plays on my Discord as well, so link for that is there. I really appreciate y'all for supporting me even when I'm having these slower slump days. I know the comments are going to be there as always, but I mean, I'm still going to keep pushing through. I enjoy making these videos. I do it for free at the end of the day, and I just love seeing your guys' support, especially when we win. So hopefully we can bounce back when it comes to the Saturday slate. But then that, I hope everybody has a good night, a good day, and we can cash out tomorrow.